Hi, Kate Duffy here, Tipping Point Recovery, where we're doing things differently. We are lifting the curtain as recovering alcoholics ourselves, and we're sharing tips with you so that you can understand what is addiction and what is your loved one. They're not the same thing. I'm really wanting you to learn how to translate. Right? I'm an interpreter. I want you to hear what is the disease talking versus your loved one talking. So something that I hear over and over and over again, and actually was a big catalyst in me deciding to start this company, was hearing families in their pain and frustration. She's such a liar. No, you don't understand. He's really manipulative. What I want to say back to that, and I do all the time when I'm talking with clients, I'm a liar. I was a liar. I was manipulative. We all are. It's like, imagine saying, my mother with Alzheimer's, she's just so forgetful. That sounds a little funny to hear because it is expected that someone with Alzheimer's and dementia is forgetful. Yet we don't stay swirling in that because doctors teach us this is what happens with dementia. I'm teaching you this is what happens with addiction, partly because I want you to loosen up from that grip you have on she's such a liar, he's so manipulative. I want you to know the illness manipulates and the illness lies. Why do I want you to know that? Because it hurts me to see you so tightly gripped on how bad that is, because I know it's no way to live. It also is not useful to you or your loved one for you to stay in that grip of frustration, right? So today what I'm going to talk about are the top lies that we see. And I'm wanting you to think of this as another language. For example, if I were coming on here and I was teaching you American Sign Language, you would learn and practice the sign language. I want you to learn these tips, these lies, so that you can become proficient in understanding what's the addiction talking. And I'm going to tell you what I think you should do when you hear the addiction versus your loved one. We have a tip sheet with, I think, 20 lies. And if you want this tip sheet, you can email us at hello@tippingpointrecovery.com and say, please send me the tip sheet, and we'll send this to you. Okay. So, and I've asked hundreds of alcoholics and addicts in recovery to help me with getting down these top lies. The first one is, I'm fine. I remember saying this drunk and trying to get the words out. I'm fine. And my eyelids slamming shut. Now, I wanted my kids, who were teenagers at the time, or I wish now someone would have told them, she's not fine. She has mental health challenges that she's self-medicating with alcohol. You're not crazy. She's not fine, and we're going to help her. So when you hear I'm fine, rather than focusing on that it's a lie, I want you to hear it as that's the monster of addiction that is talking through your person's mouth, through your person's words. Another one I said was, those aren't mine, or those are old. Those bottles that you find, those aren't mine. Now, how insane does that make you when you see the bottles, you know they weren't there last week, and your loved one is saying, those aren't mine? The insane part for families is thinking that I'm going to say, you're right, those are current and I'm struggling. That's what we're wishing when we approach an alcoholic and we say, look what I found. I found these. What we're really hoping for is they're going to say, oh my God, you're right. I'm so sorry. I'm really struggling. Now, maybe 1% of the time that's going to happen. But I'm going to ask you to stop expecting from them what you're not going to get, because it's going to make you crazy to keep expecting it, and it's not helping you or them. Another lie is, it wasn't my fault. We don't take responsibility. We don't take ownership when we're struggling with addiction. It's a symptom. Think of it as a symptom of drug or alcohol addiction. We don't take responsibility. So don't expect us to take responsibility. And it means, I also mean by that, don't do things for us to help us, because then you're really just saying it's okay that you're not taking responsibility. I've got you covered. Don't cover addiction. Don't protect the addiction. Then I might say another lie, number 4, I'm not avoiding you, I'm just busy. The truth is I am avoiding you because I'm stuck in my addiction and I don't want to admit it and I don't want to take responsibility for it. So if I'm frequently telling you I'm busy, I'm really just not making time for anything, including myself, because of my addictions taking over. That's a lie. I don't need treatment. And there's a million reasons why I don't need treatment. I did it before. I did it 5 times before. They're no good. I know other people that have gone there. It doesn't work. It didn't work for me. It won't work for me. The truth is, all alcoholics and addicts need treatment for the underlying causes. The root causes of drug or alcohol addiction are an inside problem, and it needs treatment. But your job is not to convince them that they need treatment. We do that. Peers and treatment centers and interventionists will convince them that they need treatment. That's what we're best at. Don't try to convince them they need treatment. But it's a lie that they don't need treatment. It's not true. But again, I want you to know that because I want you to not get caught in that argument. I don't want you to think you're going to convince someone with a thinking disorder that they need to think their way through this. Make sense? Lie number 6, AA doesn't work. Or another common one is, I don't buy the God stuff. I don't like the God stuff in AA. So let me explain what often that means. Again, I'm not 100% telling you that these lies are all the time, but 99+% of the time. AA doesn't work, or I don't like AA, or I don't like the God thing. There is no need for God in AA, and AA does work. And AA has worked for years. Most times people say, I don't want AA, is because AA is a program of abstinence. And you're talking with someone who doesn't want to be abstinent. You're talking with someone whose disease is fighting with them on the inside to stay present and to drink and to earn their right to drink socially. So the inside journey of coming to the awareness that I need a program like AA or Smart Recovery or many, many types of programs, often AA doesn't work or I won't go to AA is often a mistruth. And what it's really meaning underneath is I'm not ready to get sober. I'm afraid. I don't know how I'll live my life being sober. I don't know those people. I feel insecure. I'm not sure if I fit in. I'm not sure if they're like me. Those are usually what it really means. And again, I'm sharing this with you not because I want you to go convince your loved one. I want you first to be convinced that these are lies and this is how addiction presents. Number 7, it's different this time. I can do it this time. This time is different. Often what that is doing is masking. It's more denial, more rationalizing, more minimizing. I've got this covered. Typically, we don't have it covered. The majority of the time, we need someone else. We need a professional. We don't have it covered. But you don't need to get caught in that argument with us. In your head, you can say to yourself, yes, it sure is different this time because I'm learning about the disease and I'm not going to buy the BS anymore and I'm going to set healthy boundaries. You don't have to say that out loud yet, but it is different this time. Don't believe that it's not. I need blank. I need a car. I need money. I need something from you in order to recover. I want you to be responsible for my recovery. You know, this is a really tough one, especially when it's a young person who's, you know, maybe in some other families without addiction being present, without the mental health challenges. Sometimes people do buy their loved ones a car for a graduation present, or sometimes they do loan money to get to work. But with addiction, what you've got to remember is we don't need anything except treatment and other people in recovery to help us get well. We don't want to believe that, and we aren't going to believe that from you, our family, but we don't need a job. We don't need anything until we get better. It's the thinking we need those things and our family thinking we need a job, we need a car, it's going to get us better. We need to get better first. And yes, you're right. We need purpose and we need drive and we need to get to where we need to go. But we have to work toward those things from the inside out. You can't give someone self-esteem. You can't give someone purpose in life You give them the opportunity to practice finding their purpose, to practice feeling well enough to climb our way out. It's in early recovery that we get all those things back. And being given those things doesn't allow us the opportunity to work toward them. So it's very common for someone to think you need to give them something in order for them to do a thing. You need them to value their life. You need them to get better. So which of these lies have you told if you're the person in recovery? Which of these lies are you being told if you're a family member and listening to this video? We'd love to hear from you. If you want to email us at hello@tippingpointrecovery to talk about any one of these lies.